Hello, Mustang fans, and welcome to another episode of the Mustang Owners Podcast, where everybody has a Mustang story, and we want to share yours. Well, I'm your host, John Clore, and guess what? We've got my co-host, Mike Ray, back after a long winter slumber. Mike, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Let's get this thing going for 2026.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, Mike. I did had that episode where we talked about how we're going to change the podcast, and boy, do we have our work to do. Thank you for everybody that brought a comment in or sent us an email. The Mustang Owners Podcast is going to be wilder and crazier than ever. Mike, it's going to be an absolute blast.
I can't wait to see what this year has in store for us.
Well, Mike, while you were recuperating from Old Man Winter, I did go to the Detroit Auto Show, and I just posted an episode of, how Mustangs were MIA, and boy, did I get some people call me up, hey, you missed the Dark Horse SC. And of course, I didn't miss it. I went on Media Day, which is when the media goes. And of course, Ford Racing waited until their big F1 announcement. They call it the season opener. Yeah, Mike, did you not have any people go over there to Michigan Central? What a flog.
Yeah, it was definitely packed over there for sure. And I had an invite to go to that too, but like I said, I was feeling under the weather, so I didn't make it out. But you know who I did see over there, John, was Mr. Dave Parasek attended.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. And there was a lot of faces in the crowd we noticed. And, and then, of course, you were invited to our Connected World at the hub there at Michigan Central, all kinds of things happening. But no, folks, I did not miss the Dark Horse. Yes, they held it back. And I understand, Mike, they brought it now over to Huntington Place. It's on the Ford stand, which is where it should be, obviously. And because we did make a lot of news with that SC, and Mike, a lot of people are complaining that it's too close to the GTD. And other people are complaining it's too expensive. We don't even have a price yet. So, but
or horsepower, all that. Yeah.
So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, what we want to do is to bring in the Dark Horse couple. This is going to be a story, a Mustang story we just had to share with you, because tonight we're going to have Tony and Jeni Lucas. Tony and Jeni, welcome to the Mustang Owners Podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Hello.
No, I'll tell you guys, once we found out your story, and I really appreciate you surfacing it with me, Tony. Mike, how would you like to, have a wife that says, yeah, let's go buy a Dark Horse, and then, of course, they decide, hey, well, let's go do that track attack. Okay, let's go. And then they do that track attack, well, then they realize it's somebody else's tires. You get these crazy instructors, and then you have really more fun than you should have in a car. And it's legal. It's legal, too, right? So, and then, Mike, they decide, after this second track attack, what do they do after they bought their 2024 Dark Horse and go experience how to drive it at top end? They went off and bought another one. So
that's the whole point of the track attack, correct?
No,
you're so excited, you're spending more money.
Now you guys have to tell us, first of all, I know you're Mustang people. How did you first get into that Mustang hobby?
I've always been Mustang.
Yeah.
We've always been Mustang.
I think the big one was when we had the 2000. We were actually going to do, James was going to drag race with it. So,
okay.
So we was going to take a V6 and go ahead and build it back out and start dragging it. Well, through some accidental winter driving with those, we got rid of that one in the 2004 that we had at the time, unfortunately. But it just, I was a consultant at the time, and I was driving a GT, 2004 GT Premium, 2004 GT Premium, getting excellent gas mileage, rolling it down 75 in Ohio. So it was great, man. That was a good time. And then I've always kind of had one. So
what was it? What was it about the Dark Horse when that came across? Everybody had talked about, what's Ford going to do? Are they going to come out with another boss? Mike, you heard the stuff about, Cobra was being thrown out. There's a couple other names that I won't mention right now, but we can talk about later. And then the Dark Horse came out, and Mike, you were doing some pretty good business with that car.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're the number one performance dealer in the state of Michigan. So we get a very good allocation of Dark Horses. So that helps us out greatly.
And then the RTR came out. So you had a couple of options beyond the 5-liter GT. And then when Dark Horse came out, I remember you guys, so many people trying to grab it. It was really hard to get. Is availability better now, Mike?
It's getting there a little bit. The funny thing is, John, the reports that came out last week that it was a down year, obviously, for Mustang for numbers. but it was still number one in the category. So, I still beat the competitors out, but it was a down year as well, but still ended up on top.
So Tony and Jeni, what was it about Dark Horse? I mean, you could have got a GT500, maybe a used GT350. You could have got a Coyote GT. You could have got a Cal Special. What was it about the Dark Horse that attracted you?
Well, really, that was so my daughter had to go to college. With COVID, they took my 2018 and traded in and gave me more money than I ever could imagine. So I got rid of it, and I had to be on sabbatical on that. So, and I started hearing about the Dark Horse. So I was like, that's the one I'll shoot for. And we'd actually gone through 4 or 5 of them with dealers that would change the pricing, or the pricing wasn't always consistent when we showed up. Or the car was gone, or they never ordered it, or those kind of things. We'd given up on it. And 2024, I just got off vacation at Labor Day area, and next thing I know, my dealership's calling me up. Hey, are you still interested in this? We got one exactly the way you want sitting on our floor right now.
So, Jeni, were you supportive of making the leap into, because you were going to drive it too?
Yes.
So who's the lead foot between the two of you? Is it you, Jeni? Who's the lead foot?
Maybe.
Hey, are police watching the channel? Please, if the state troopers,
let's call those track instructors.
So you both wanted the Dark Horse,
Yes.
Right? And it was a little bit about our time in life, right? Our daughter's finishing college. It's about empty nesting. We don't have any other children, things like that. So we wanted to get some sort of, get back into the hobby, right? Do the car shows and go meet with the people, and be part of the Mustang clubs and do good for the community and all the things that they do. And that's what our motivation really was. And then, of course, it had a little sticker on it that said, hey, you get to go to the Track Attack for a day. And we were pretty excited about that.
But not everybody does that. Mike, what's the take rate on that? Do you know? I mean, half the people...
No, it's very low. I want to say 20 to 30% maybe.
Yep.
So Tony and Jeni, when you saw that, did you discuss that that's something you wanted to do?
I've always wanted to, an item on my bucket list was to be able to drive on a racetrack. I've always been interested in drag racing or racing, but then when you become a mom, that kind of just a back burner. So no, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous beast of a car. Fun. They're sexy. They're just fun to drive, fun to be in.
Well, we can tell from that really cool banner you got over your heads how cool that Track Attack was. So the question is, did you share driving times? I mean, how did that work out with the both of you there?
So we actually went for the 2-day, which I highly recommend, right?
Okay.
And we were both drivers, and I highly recommend. And a lot of it was Jeni had not driven a lot of the last 2 or 3 revs of cars we had, just because it was a hot car, and I think you were a little afraid of it or afraid of wrecking it and being your fault, maybe.
Yeah, I was more afraid of maybe not me, someone else hitting me or something like that.
So I thought this was a great opportunity for Jeni to get introduced to the car and its capabilities and really know what the car can do. And it was definitely worth getting to that point. And it is a great experience, man. When you're chasing your woman around the track over 100 miles an hour, I tell you what, there's nothing like that, right? There's absolutely nothing like that.
Yeah, and Michael put a test to this. Mike, there will be no blue flashing lights behind you.
That's right.
That's got to be a plus. So you guys, you got some professional instruction.
Phenomenal instruction.
How would you rate the instructors at that Track Attack?
10 out of 10.
Yes.
I mean, everybody was easy to work with. They took you into groups and kind of staged you for what your capabilities were. So it wasn't like you were with the people that would just be all on, and we were a little more enjoying it or learning the car a little bit more than we than just trying to be the fastest track time. But we did have one of those guys that was actually bought the car to put on the track, so that was kind of neat to see him run that around too. There's
always some of those, Mike. Mike, do you find that to be the shakedown when you guys used to do Gingerman and the Paul Roche's event out there? Did you find didn't he kind of pull out the hot rodders and put them in their own class?
Yeah, there's an intermediate, a beginner class, an intermediate, and then an advanced class. So the Rokas of the world are all in the advanced class, so they know they got the history. They compete usually on weekends and stuff like that. So those guys are there to be in the advanced class, and that's like an all full out race when they're going.
Well, do they welcome beginners? So
Yes.
I think the track attack has to do that.
Yes. Beginners with us is usually that first day is just all beginners. And then, like I said, it's a beginner novice class, if you will. And they, most of them are with the instructors, how to drive the cars, how to do a proper pass, how to cut the angles, all that stuff like that. And that's what they're going to do with the beginner class, to kind of show you how to maneuver the car and what the capabilities of the car are.
So Tony and Jeni, were you in this the classes we learned the apexes and see the course? Did they teach you that before you even touched the car?
We still dream about apexes. Check your apex. Now look for your next apex.
If you hear me, give me a thumbs up, kind of stuff. Yeah, so that was always great.
Brake. Now
Turn.
gas. Yeah, it was a wonderful time, and it really helped me. I now am not afraid to drive it because I know what it does. I know how far I can push it, and I know my limits. So, yeah, now I have my own. We just had one, then we came back. Now I get to have my own.
Well, with the 2-day, the first day there had to be some anxiety and anticipation, but the second day, did the fear factor kind of go away, and then as you gain more confidence, would you say it was 50-50 that you were confident and a little nervous? So how were the nerves the second day on the track attack?
I think they were the same. It was a great experience, and it was just excitement more than nerves, I think, right?
Okay.
Because it's something we wanted to do, something that we were interested in, and obviously we had great instructors. We had everything that was there that we could need and use, and it was well worth it, because they start you out with just training on the skid, doing the skids, and then actually doing the drift brake. So that was some great stuff. And then they started you on a little mini track that teaches you, and they do a couple pulls on that, and then you kind of get a little mini classification, I guess, and then they start putting us on the track. So, and that was just, I think that was before lunch. All that was before lunch. Instruction, all that was before lunch, and after lunch we got on the track.
So Mike, when you're selling a Dark Horse and you're seeing, does anybody ask you, do they know about it, or do you have to drop that little bomb on them and say, hey, if you haven't driven it like Tony and Jeni have now driven these cars, you owe it to yourself to go see what the capability of the car is? And do you get kind of like a, no, I'm not interested, Mike? How does that work?
So, no, the salesperson, it's their job to tell the customer that. A lot of them do not, because they don't even know about it themselves. That's why I said every single dealer should have a performance manager in there just for those people. And John, the majority do not. I would say 60 to 70% of those dealers know nothing about it, do not know how to translate it to the customer. And that's why the customers don't get to take advantage of it, because they were never warned of it, know about it, educated on it, anything like that. So it's the same thing with the Bronco off rodeo, same exact situation. Mm-hmm. And if you don't get to know it, you don't get to do it. And if in your situation, you are the exact example of why you should do that, because you enjoyed it so much, you went and bought another one. So, that is absolutely the reason to do it. Yes, I educate them, and most of them say they're going to make the time, and they're gonna try to do it, and they seem excited about it. Not all of them go through with it, but they are excited to know that the opportunity is there for them.
Well, Tony, that's we have to ask you that, because you went through this. Not very many people do, which is sad. But I know Ford struggles with, should we continue to do this if we're not getting participation rates? As Mike just explained, it's not because nobody really wants to do it. Some people, unfortunately, you guys found out about it. But what if you didn't? You'd be disappointed you didn't find out about this.
That was a selling feature, actually.
Oh,
we knew
exactly.
That was a selling feature.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. All right. So
it's exactly what it's supposed to be. Is that?
Yeah, but the problem is, Mike. Then they get home, and then what happened, Tony and Jeni? You're looking at each other, going, "Well, who's going to drive the Dark Horse?" And then you decided, "Hey, let's go out and buy a 2025." I mean, how did you come to the conclusion you needed
on the way to the airport going home?
Yeah.
We're on the airport.
And you informed me that I no longer have a Mustang, that it's now yours to drive.
Yeah, the 24 one was, I'm like, that's mine. And he's like, what am I going to drive? I'm like, I don't know.
So by the time we're on the plane, I've already located one at my dealership, and I'm ready to go look at it. And that
next morning, we went and drove it home.
Yeah.
Now, how is the 2025 different? Is it a different color?
It doesn't have it's not the premium. That wasn't available. because you couldn't. It seemed like all the options, you couldn't get the premium and the performance on the same vehicle for 2025. So I went for performance over pretty. So,
well, black on black,
yep.
jet black,
Ooh, very sinister.
gorgeous car.
So do you guys plan on taking it to a Mustang Club show and showing the cars together, or one at a time?
Absolutely.
You do? So you drive separate cars to the show?
Or we figure out a trailer or something. We'll figure something out.
That would be awesome. Mike,
Yeah,
these are
I think that'll draw some attention just for some awards alone, just by doing that.
husband-wife team pulls up in 2 Dark Horses. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what about? All right, so Jeni, I know you said you enjoyed it, and I know Tony, you were wanted to get out there and flog that car. But does that mean that if there were, say, a track event within your reach that, like where the Mustang Club puts on a high-performance driving school, would that be something you guys would be interested in doing at a different track?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, that's one of the reasons I think we got a 25. I know that we could have just went and done the track attack again, but it's a good excuse to try to do it. So we're kind of hoping to get it back there this year and do it again, because I think now that we know what it is, it's going to be a much better experience for us just from the flat, hey, we know what to expect. Now we know how to actually handle how to get to the next group, so that's kind of.
The instructors want you to chase them. They want you to about catch them.
I don't think they wanted you to. I don't think we were supposed to say that.
Oh. That's what we figured out.
But what's the oddity of all this, though, is the fact that I know we're not alone.
Right.
Yeah.
I unfortunately around Thanksgiving, I was part of one of the technology rifts, and so I was without a job. But I replaced all the tires. That's one thing too, Mike. First thing, those Trofeos, while they're great track tires for like 20 minutes, I had to change both sets of tires to Michelin's just so I could actually, run the car on the highway here locally. So Texas roads are not very good for some of this, so you got to be careful. But long and short of it is I had 2 sets of Trofeos, and I just put them on Facebook Marketplace. So, okay, I got the one guy, but he wants both of them, both sets.
Good.
Oh, okay, maybe just run a car. Well, evidently, come to find out, him and his wife went in earlier in November, went to that track attack, and they just came back, they ordered another one, and they wanted these 2 sets of tires for extra track tires. So I know we're not the only ones, and I'm kind of curious as to Ford, what is this, is there this is something that could be incentivized or, just looked at, because, we went from a, enthusiast to collectors in basically a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say? What would you say to someone who just bought a Dark Horse? Maybe they were lucky to have Mike Ray as their salesman and suggested the track attack, and then they go, "Nah, I don't think so." What would you say to them to maybe convince them that it's a good deal?
I think first of all, you paid for it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, let's be realistic. You paid for it.
You did.
So at least do the one day. You're flying into Charlotte for the evening and the next day, and you're doing the Roval in Charlotte. So hey, what's the worst thing that could happen? You learn something, or you get bored, right?
So but you guys opted for the 2-day. Why was that?
Just more experience, I think.
Okay.
We wanted to not just have the instruction. We also wanted the extra day to actually run the track many times and let them tell us how, where, when, and what to look for, of when to brake, when not to brake, when to shift, when not to shift. So very, very worth it. So the second day was more just track time, which was
fabulous. How many people did just the 1 day compared to the 2-day?
Everybody that was in our group was the 2-day.
Yeah.
So it was the 2-day set. So
Okay.
I think there was half dozen people, 9 people, 10 people.
Yeah, if you're going to make the flight down there, Mike, go to the Mustang Owners Museum. You're in Charlotte.
Highly recommend that.
Did you go check it out?
We did.
We did.
That's awesome.
That's the way to do it. You guys are Mustang enthusiasts, but Tony and Jeni, I'm telling you, we don't know of another couple that had a car, went to a track event that Ford put on, came back and bought another one. You guys, Mike, this is like the ultimate Dark Horse experience for any married couple or any not married couple.
Absolutely the best advertisement for that car I've heard yet.
Yeah, and I'm so happy the fact that they're going to continue to do it, Mike. It's not a one and done thing. They like the car enough. Now, do you guys, you're going to put them away and not use them that much? I mean, you probably don't want to put too many miles on them, but in the summer, do you plan on enjoying those things out on the regular road?
Well, we're going to have to, right? I mean,
yes.
There's the Twisted Sisters roads down here in Texas where we live, so we want to do those, and it just opened up a whole group of a whole different level of things we can go do with these cars, right? So if you're not going to drive it, why are you buying it, right? I mean, that's really for us. The first 5-10 years, we'll drive it, then maybe throw it in a museum or something, and let it sit there and collect some dust, or lower the insurance or whatever, and then we'll have an asset someday maybe. But
Tony, are you guys planning to do the Mustang Week in Texas this year?
I think we're trying. We may already be registered for that, or it's a calendar-based thing. When the calendar says go to this, we go to that.
Well, me and John have some contacts there who run the Mustang Week thing in Texas, and I think they might want to use you maybe in a special area or display just to maybe tell that story. I think we would be doing that. Let us reach out to them, and we'll get back to you guys and see if they can do anything special for you guys.
Yeah, it'd be cool. And Tony and Jenny, if Ryan Shaughnessy is going to be at Mustang Week, we'll try to hook you up with the Mustang brand manager, who I hope listens to this podcast and would love to hear your story, because it was he who had to stand up and say, Ford, we need to continue to do this, because we really think it's one of those things that you got to experience. Don't just say, no, I don't want to go. When you experience it, you go, wow, that was more fun than you really should have legally, And then you guys
have smiles on our face were there for weeks.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that you took the second day, Jenny, that whatever you learned that first day, it's a known fact that if you go back for the second time, it sinks in better. You recall, the learning experience works better when you repeat it the next day. I'm so happy for you guys. Mike, what a freaking Mustang story.
Yeah, that is exactly what this is all about. It's the reason we do the podcast, is to tell stories exactly like this.
Well, Tony and Jeni Lucas, thank you so much for your time tonight. We love the fact that you're a dark horse couple. It's, you might have, it's 2 cars and 1 couple, as Tony, as you told me, but that's totally good with everybody out there in the Mustang world. That goes to show you, if you find a Mustang that you love and your wife happens to love it, you don't have to share it. Get 2 of them. It's better than 1.
We've done this. This is about our 3rd time that we've had pretty much matching cars.
I just love it. Well, I think, Mike, if I still have an in over at thefordracing.com, maybe this would be a perfect Ford fan spotlight to get them on the Ford Racing as well. Tony and Jeni Lucas, thanks again for joining us on the Mustang Owners Podcast. Thank you so much. And remember now, it's still going to be rubber side down, shiny side up.
Or sideways.
Don't forget that.
Right.
Thanks, guys, for having us.
Yes, thank
You're
you.
very welcome. You're very welcome. Mike, I just can't take it. I just thought it was so cool when Tony got in touch with me, and the fact that Jenny's out there flogging the cars as well. They got 2 brand new dark horses. Life is good. And that's what the Mustang ownership experience is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it was a pleasure having you guys and talking to you.
Yep.
Thank you.
We told you your Mustang story is something we wanted to share. We hope you appreciate that and enjoyed this episode, as well as go on to that YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button or like, so that we can share this kind of content with everybody else out there in the Mustang world. Check out our other podcasts. And if you want another, Mike, 200 episodes on Spotify, there's another 200 there. So don't forget that we absolutely love to hear from you. So check us out. You can send us a note to jclore@carsandcontext.com, and we'll be making sure to share all of your info online to get those stories told. So until next time, folks, I guess I'll just have to catch you guys down the road.